Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Muttama Shloke Bhaktirabhavati Naishtaki Randra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. So we are going to read one shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 28th chapter, titled as Kapiladev's instruction to Mata Devahuti on how to perform devotional service. So Kapiladev, in the previous shloka, he explained Mata Devahuti that one should execute the prescribed duties to the best of his ability. Whatever our duties are, we should be doing at our best possible capacity. If somebody is a teacher, one should perform their duties. One is a doctor, one is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Whatever the duty it is allotted to you, you must take it very seriously. So Kapiladev is saying, and while performing that duty, whatever we get by the grace of Lord, we should be satisfied. And at the same time, worship the lotus feet of spiritual master. Next, Kapiladev is explaining to Mata Devahuti about how to perform devotional service. So he says here further, Gramya dharma nivrittischa moksha dharma ratistatha mitamedhya danam shashvadam mitamedhya danam shashvad vivikta kshema sevanam. One should cease performing conventional religious practices and should be attracted to those which lead to the salvation. One should eat very frugally and should always remain secluded so that he can achieve the highest perfection of life. So here Kapiladev is explaining some of the basic principles of devotional service. So what is that? The first one is Gramya dharma nivrittischa. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining here. It is recommended herein that religious practice for economic development or the satisfaction of sense desire should be avoided. So whatever duties we are performing, most of the time we are doing it for money. And people work hard to satisfy their sensual desires, material desires. But that should be minimized. Religious practices should be executed only to gain freedom from clutches of material nature. So the duties we perform is only to get out of the clutches of Maya. It is stated here in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam that the topmost religious practice is that by which one can attain transcendental loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. So Bhagavatam also says in the first canto, second chapter, that Save Purusha Paro Dharma Yatho Bhakti Adokshaje Ahetukiya Pratiyata Yayatmasu Prasidhari. So the purpose of all the religious duties is to achieve the love for Krishna, service to Krishna. So we should perform the duty by which one can attain transcendental devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead without any reason or the cause. Such religious practice is never hampered by impediments, and by its performance one can actually become satisfied. So when one performs the devotional service without material desires, then one gets motivated. There are no impediments. And whatever the devotional service we are doing without material desires, we get satisfied. Herein this is confirmed as moksha dharma, religious practice for salvation or for the transcendence of material, for the clutches of material contamination. So whatever activities we are performing, if we perform for the pleasure of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, then we get free from clutches of Maya. Generally, people execute religious practice for economic development. We have some pujaris here in the temple, and they are always asking for money, 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 all the time money. So what is this? So they are asking, they are doing the seva of Lord, but then they are asking money. So that is not a seva actually. That is business, right? But whenever we perform, we should perform it without any material gains, expecting any material gains. In the previous times, Brahmanas never used to collect money. They used to collect only the donation or alms given to them. They never used to have a bank account. So generally people execute religious practice for economic development. People come to temple and they ask, give me this, give me this. They ask God all the material things or sense gratificatory things. But that is not bhakti. That is material desires. The next important phrase is mita medhya danam, which means that one should eat very frugally. Mita medhya danam. It is recommended in Vedic literature that yogi eats only half what he desires according to his hunger. So, yogi, even if he has hunger of 4 rotis, then he will eat only 2 rotis. He will not eat full. If one is so hungry that he could devour 1 pound of foodstuff, then instead of eating 1 pound, he should consume only half pound. And supplement this with 4 ounces of water. 1/4 of the stomach should be empty for the passage of air. So, if your stomach capacity is say 100%, then out of that 50% should be the food, next 25% should be the water, and another 25% should be the air. Then there is a space for the food for digestion. If you have stomach full capacity, then there is no chance of water or air, so digestion problem will be there. If one eats in this manner, he will avoid indigestion and disease. So if one eats like this, Prabhupada recommended that 1/2 of the stomach filled with food, then remaining, so 50% with the food, 25% with the water, and 25% air. The yogi should, in this way, as recommended in Srimad Bhagavatam, the yogi should live in a secluded place. One should leave the place where Lord Krishna is being worshipped, holy place, where the yoga practice will not be disturbed. And when we live with the devotees, when we live with Krishna, then our yoga practice will continue. In this way, Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devati about the principles of devotional service. And the first principle is ceasing religious practice, reducing or stop the activities, perform the religious activities, but not for the material gains. Second, one should associate with the devotees. Third, one should control the eating, not too much eating, controlled eating, so that one can function properly. Then live in a place which is secluded, away from the material interactions, and then you can perform the yoga practice. And the ultimate goal is Krishna Prapti, Ante Narayana Smriti. So if we live a disciplined life, then there will be a time when we'll be able to remember Krishna at the time of death. So we'll pause here. We'll continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam tomorrow. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada.